welcome on board, and everyone's wondering, how are you? When are we going to see you out there full time again?
Let's say I feel great. You know, I was doing a lot of training on the off season down in Los Angeles, and seeing other guys now starting up this past Monday. First day on the field feels great. You know, just doing a little more cardiovascular running.
Yeah.
But you know, ultimately now it's just up to, I guess, the trainers, the coaching staff to make the decision whether or not, you know, it's time for me to step on the field. Because personally, I feel great.
Yeah. So in your mind, you're past thinking about being injured and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be the biggest battle, isn't it? Is to get past the fact that I was injured and out for so long, and I'm ready to go back at 100%.
Well, that's what I've heard. I've heard that, you know, coming off injury, stepping on the field, it's that transition, you know, getting the game fitness, and because it's a different tempo, right? It's everything's off the fly, and there's not like any pausing. It's reaction. So ultimately, I think the more I could get cycled into the training sessions on a gradual basis, the quicker I could get back on the field, getting into the game fitness.
Now we might have some people see with us for the first time, Adrian, as well. Maybe we should tell the listeners exactly why you missed some games last year.
Oh well, I tore my ACL during a training session. I think in May, end of May, and
this is the first step, being able to talk about it. By the way,
yeah, it was the. it's been so long ago, you know. So you know, it's hard for me to kind of remember. But I mean, yeah, that's what happened, and then I had my surgery done approximately 8 weeks after, July 26th, and then ever since that I've been working with the trainers, the coaching staff with Toronto, and everything's been going smooth, and I'm fortunate that, you know, I'm moving in the right direction. I feel great. So, any advice for a guy with a busted chin, how I get my confidence back being on camera with this thing growing down here?
You look great, man.
Yeah, it's all right, man. It's how you feel inside.
You take a boot to the face, and then everything inside feels good, right?
There you go, man.
Exactly.
Take one for the team.
Well, I got to follow that up. We have fans asking, obviously, everyone's happy to see you in a TFC Red again. A couple of tweets about that. One question that comes up, do you see yourself getting back into the picture for the Canadian men's national team?
Well, you know, that's one of my goals, is to kind of get back on the scene with Canada and represent them. But I mean, ultimately, you know, I feel that I'm in the right direction, just training hard, just gotta, you know, take it one step at a time. My goal is to get back with Toronto, getting the starting lineup, and produce for them, and then hopefully, my work ethic and what I produce on the field, that could kind of trickle off to the national team, and they can pick me up. You know, those are my intentions anyway, for sure.
And what have the coaches told you, both here in Toronto and Stephen Hart with the national team, exactly? Where do you stand in terms of getting back into action with either team?
Well, I think at the present time, you know, Aaron and Bob, they've motivated me. At the same time, it's the trainers that kind of make that decision whether or not I should partake in the training sessions. Like, ultimately, I would love to do it. Like today, I would love to join the guys and just seeing them playing around. But I was doing my running, so I put in the hard work today. And in due time, you know, I should be on the field with them participating.
You're due for a nice, calm start to the season, too. You know, no contract discussions with coaches or managers, no injuries, just jump into it. And, you know, as I mentioned off the top of the show, the word here that just jumped to mind for me this morning about this team finally, maybe you can speak to it, is stability. And we're talking within management, within players, and just having a plan from day one that everyone is on board with, and you can just play soccer.
I think that's the ultimate goal. You know, I know that the coaching staff made that decision prior to the season ending, with changes being made with the squad, and I think that was a great decision, because they have that couple months ahead of the game. You know, whereas other teams are making a decision on the off season. I think that helped quite a bit. And I think moving forward, like you said, I think mentality is to play great style of football, start winning games, and, you know, make that push for the playoffs and win a championship.
How are you helping this team when you can't play? Because I know you're a competitor, and you want to find a way that, whether it's Richard Eckersley or Ty Harden or anyone else on the back, I'm sure you've got some things that you've been trying to say. And how much were you able to, and did you stay in touch with the guys through last year when you weren't playing?
Well, to be honest with you, when I did get injured, it was mentally I was kind of out of it.
Okay.
Knowing that I couldn't, you know, participate and help the guys out on the field. You know, ultimately you can do that on the off the pitch as well. But for me, I was just like down and out, you know, in all honesty. So, you know, moving forward, now that I'm back in the scene, hopefully I could help them out throughout training sessions, and my work ethic, as well as competing for the spot, as well as pushing each other on, pushing the younger guys on. And it's all about mentality. I think, you know, if you want to win things, you just gotta think positive and be optimistic and work your bum off.
Yeah, no, that's a very polite way to put it. But, you know, and because of your situation, there were some guys that were plugged into roles that I know probably at earlier points in their career they hadn't played that many minutes, or they're playing the position where they're really being relied upon. And maybe you can speak to it, because and I know it was tough for you to watch, but, you know, one guy that really stepped up was Ty. He came into the lineup,
sure.
and he became a real rock, a very consistent and steady player back there. And you could probably identify with a lot of the moments in the games that he was experiencing.
Oh, definitely. Like, you know, I think that Ty got his opportunity to perform, and he did so, right, on a regular basis. And he played consistently, game in and game out. Along with the other guys, I think at the end of the season they started gelling. The whole squad started getting familiar with the players around them, and I think that's what helped with their performances. And you could see by the games they played, like against teams like Dallas, beating them 3-0. You know, it's like
you must have been awful. Even when you weren't playing, you're awful proud of that.
Oh, well, for sure. Like definitely, I'm proud with the guys, and you know, beating teams and playing a good style of football and winning games.
Now, Adrian, very important question. Armin wants to know if you're still pro pumpkin pie, or has your taste in pies changed? He says you would know what he's talking about.
I would say pumpkin pie, man. That was the first time I ate it. Was in Louisville, Kentucky, and kind of it's still with me right now. But yeah, definitely pumpkin pie.
Well, there you go, Armin. Your question's been answered. So send us your questions for players as they come through. Adrian, I know there's about 1 million things for you to do out there today. You're a man in demand. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.